Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Parts of southeast Michigan could potentially see severe storms tonight, and we don't mean the snow variety. Glad you're with us for Local 4 News at 6. I'm Devin Skillion.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Karen Drew in for Kimberly Gill, and we will hear from her in just a few minutes as she's live from our Go For It CPR training event. But first, we have to talk about this pure Michigan weather.
Pretty wacky.
It's crazy.
Yeah, still February, but chances for storms the next couple of overnights, right?
Still February, and we have 2 rounds of potential severe weather. So let's get right to the timeline, and we'll start overnight tonight between 3 a.m. and 8 a.m. That does include at least part of the morning commute. Spotty storms, some of which could be severe. Then during the day tomorrow, during most of the time when you're awake, it is going to be absolutely beautiful. Dry, mild, little bit breezy with near record-breaking temps in the low 60s. It's round 2 when we bump up from a marginal risk of severe weather, that's a level 1, all the way to a level 2, which is a slight risk. That's between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's when we expect stronger thunderstorms, and those storms will be a bit more widespread. Here are the threats that we're expecting. Isolated wind gusts over 60 miles per hour, large hail, flooding, and we cannot rule out an isolated tornado. It's not the first time we've had a tornado in February. I'll tell you when that happened last. And we'll talk more about not only severe weather, but some snow flurries that will be moving in the same forecast. A 48-hour period, we'll see a huge temperature change. We'll talk about that coming up.
Real grab bag. All right, Kim. Well, it has happened again. Another bad collision at this very same corner. We have covered. We've seen more than 24 crashes here, and a woman's fence hit and damaged 11 times. It's brought Sean Lay once again to the backyard of Isabel Gaddy along the Davison Service Drive in John R. in Highland Park. Sean, it's all about speed, right?
Absolutely. And we show you how all this goes down here in Highland Park over and over again. Here's a Davison Service Drive, people coming off the highway, getting on the service drive. Here's John R. There is a light, but Miss Gaddy says people try to either time the light or they're driving so fast, and we have seen that tonight. And every time we're out here, there's a collision here. Typically, it'll take out her fence. She now has those posts put up. But this has happened again. Miss Gaddy says she has a solution. She's wondering if anyone is listening. When did this latest crash happen?
Last week.
And did you hear it?
Yes.
What did it sound like?
Pound. You know.
And you knew exactly what it was.
Yes. And when the dogs start acting crazy, I know something wrong. So I said, oh my God, they done come to my yard again. But praise God, they didn't.
We are with Isabel Gaddy on her corner in Highland Park, right here, the Davison Service Drive and John R. And we are with her here quite a lot because crashes at this intersection happen a lot. Miss Gaddy has documented 27 crashes. 11 of those took out her fence. Crash 27 happening a few days ago. What causes these crashes out here?
I believe people, and what I've seen, is people come off of that freeway and they booging, especially if the light is green.
Booging, you say?
Yeah.
That's right.
And then if they time that light right there, they figure they got the green light here. But here comes somebody through here and it changes right quick, and there you go.
Gaddy's fenced-in backyard is right on the corner here. She has documented 26 crashes here over the last few years, taking out her fence 11 times. This time, the crash didn't end up through her fence as a car with 7 kids in it was hit. There were some injuries. She says the solution to this are speed humps right here.
But every time I hear it, my stomach just drops because I say, here we go, because I haven't got my fence repaired from the last one. Right. You know? Yeah. And it's just a dangerous, dangerous corner.
I tell you what, we're going to take a step away from the road because this is a racetrack out here. Miss Gaddy is right. We checked with MDOT. MDOT says, hey, we're responsible for the Davison. They say Highland Park is responsible for the service drive, although Miss Gaddy has found that Highland Park is responsible for John R. Unclear who's responsible for the service drive. So she is suggesting speed humps here and taking out the light, making it a 4-way stop. We're checking with Highland Park to see. And Miss Gaddy did meet with Highland Park. We're checking with Highland Park to see if any work is underway to make this more safe. It's a lot of crashes, guys.
Yeah, no doubt. It's just unreal. We just keep talking about it, right? Great stuff, Sean.
Well, there's some tragic developments in the story of an 11-year-old who was shot nearly 2 weeks ago while she was sleeping on her couch. We did learn today she's died. Now a fourth person is charged in connection with the shooting. Lamara Glenn was hit by gunfire while sleeping inside a home on Detroit's east side. She had been hospitalized on life support, with word coming today from police she had passed. Today, prosecutors revealed charges against 19-year-old Herschel Marion Jr. of Detroit. He is the fourth person charged in the case, accused of assault with intent to murder, among other counts. He was given a $2 million cash bond. 3 other young men were arraigned on Friday. Now, those charges will be amended to reflect the death of Lamara Glenn.
A man is found guilty in a double murder that took place 2 years ago in East Point. Sky 4 was above the scene in January of 2022 as first responders swarmed an apartment building at 10 Mile and Gratiot. Dorian Mitchell and his girlfriend, Christy Davis, had been shot by a neighbor who believed someone had broken into his apartment. Mitchell died at the scene. Davis died days later at the hospital. A manhunt for the suspect, Dennis Evans, led all the way to Texas, and now a jury in Macomb County has convicted Evans of 2 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. He also has 2 previous convictions for second-degree murder. Body of a Marine killed during training was returned to Michigan today. People stood with flags and saluted Captain Miguel Nava at Gerald Ford Airport in Grand Rapids. Nava was one of 5 Marines killed February 6th when their helicopter crashed during a storm near San Diego. Michigan State Police will escort Captain Nava's body to a funeral home in Traverse City. The U.S. military listed Traverse City as his hometown, though he actually graduated from Comstock Park High near Grand Rapids. Captain Nava leaves behind a wife and a baby boy. He was just 28 years old.
It's now been 2 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, and there's still no end of sight to the war. For Metro Detroit families with ties to Ukraine, they're vowing to continue to do what they can to support the war effort. Will Jones spoke with a Ukrainian family this afternoon. Will?
Karen, this has been extremely challenging for Ukrainians in Metro Detroit to see the destruction and devastation back home. We spoke to a woman this afternoon whose mother is serving in the Ukrainian military. While Ukrainian refugees rebuild their lives in Metro Detroit, they're still hoping that one day soon they'll be able to return home. Yelizaveta Sukhanov is here with her grandmother.
A lot of people, they started to forget this information, but for Ukraine, it's going worse and worse, like every day.
She tries to keep in touch as much as possible with her loved ones in Ukraine, including her Russian-born mother who is serving in the Ukrainian military.
She said yesterday, I spoke with her by FaceTime, and she said she deleted Russian language from her phone.
Over the weekend, to mark the 2-year anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, supporters of Ukraine gathered at Hart Plaza.
Every day, heroes are dying on the front line.
As Ukrainians continue to flee to the U.S., Sukhanov is hoping the new arrivals settle in Metro Detroit.
And are people still coming from Ukraine?
A lot of people, yeah. And that's crazy too, because you just live your normal life. You have house, maybe car, your family, and you have to leave all you have.
Ukrainians here in Metro Detroit are worried about Ukraine's ability to fight back with that new aid package stalled in the U.S. House of Representatives. They're hoping that Congress takes action soon. We are live. Will Jones, Local 4.
Thank you very much, Will.
The Local 4 team is going for it today and tonight, trying to get as many people as possible trained in hands-only CPR.
It was quite a day, right?
It's unbelievable. We were all overwhelmed at the turnout.
We knew people were going to show up, but man, they really did. It is a life-saving skill that could mean the difference between life and death for a loved one in need. And so far, more than 1,350 Metro Detroiters have joined our Kimberly Gill at today's Go For It CPR Lifesavers event.
Happening at the Northwest Activities Center in Detroit. Kim, you've talked to a lot of people who've, we've heard a lot of different reasons for coming out to be trained in this. A lot of them were very personal, right?
You're right, Devin, and let me just say how honored I am and how heartwarming it's been to hear all of those personal stories. So many people came up to me and told me why they felt it was so important to be here. And the good thing is you still have a little bit of time to get down here to learn hands-only CPR for free. This is not just for Detroit residents. Anybody can come out. It's a pretty simple process. You come and get registered, you watch a quick little movie, and then you come here to the ballroom where you can have an opportunity to do what you're seeing here on your screen, really to practice these quality compressions, chest compressions to do CPR. I'd like to introduce you to one person who really highlights the reason why we decided to do this event. Take a look.
A little bit deeper for me.
This is truly a life-saving experience.
Dolores Hagan is what this event is all about.
2016, they lost me 9 times at Beaumont Hospital.
Her only symptom before her cardiac arrest.
I just was tired. And when I got to the hospital, I was there 15 minutes, and they lost me.
11, 12, 13.
Thanks to immediate CPR, she survived. For the rescuers volunteering here today, it's why they do what they do.
That is fantastic, yeah.
Thank you. 9 times they lost me at Beaumont.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
3 times in less than an hour.
Wow. And you are standing here today to talk to us. Oh, that is fantastic.
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6.
It's going to be a tiring process, but let your body do a lot of the work.
And to see so many people come out to learn hands-only CPR.
It just makes my heart happy. It makes me happy. This is truly a life-saving experience.
It was so meaningful to have so many cardiac arrest survivors to come out here, just to come and to get a refresher, or they brought somebody else. It's just been a remarkable day. As we said, we've had more than 1,350 people, and it's still a little bit of time to get down here. I do think we have some highlights of just some of the folks that we saw through here. A lot of my colleagues, Local 4 colleagues, were here earlier in the day. We have tons of volunteers who we couldn't do this without, and of course our sponsors, Henry Ford Health and Masco. It's just been a great, heartwarming community event, and we appreciate it so much. We can't thank you enough. We're going to send it back to you guys in the studio. Devin and Karen, still a little bit of time to get down here.
You know, we saw a few days ago that we had 1,000 people had signed up, and we all thought, well, maybe they'll all show up. We blew way past that.
We sure did. There was a line out the door and around the corner when we got here at 10:30, and it was just remarkable to see. We are just so grateful to the community, and this means the community cares. Right. You know, they want to have this life-saving skill, and we just love it.
And
clearly, there's a need, obviously.
That's exactly right. But as I kept telling everybody there, I hope you never use this.
True.
But it's good to know you've got it. Yeah. All right, Kim.